Let's take a minute to look at some of the elements associated with the Maryland Online Quality Matters Rubric. First of all, who created it? It was created by the Maryland Online Program via a FIPSI grant, which was awarded by the U.S. Department of Education. This took place several years ago. The Maryland Online Program is a consortium of K-12 community colleges and universities and colleges in the state of Maryland. MJC participated in a Quality Matters training. This was done via webinar, and myself and Iris Carroll participated in the training as a way to understand how the rubric works and how best to use it. There are several rubric principles that were utilized during the period of time that the rubric was being developed. The idea was to help faculty improve the quality of their online courses. That was first and foremost. That's why the rubric was created. Second of all, it was to focus on improving student learning. So obviously, if your courses are more tightly designed and easy to follow, then the students are going to be more likely to be successful. It set a minimum standard of 85% as a goal in terms of meeting the rubric quality goals. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but certainly better than simply good enough or like a 70%. It's designed to be faculty driven and a peer review process. So this is not something this is formative, not summative. This shouldn't be used as a way to do evaluation for tenure review or for tenure faculty for the every 3-year process. And it's based on evidence versus personal taste of the reviewer. So while there may be several ways to accomplish a variety of the different elements, that it's based on the fact that there are certain components of an online course that need to be met in order for there to be evidence of quality. So how does it work? Well, the rubric is broken down into several areas as listed below. Course overview and introduction is one area, and that's broken down into sub-elements. And then learning objectives, obviously this is something we all are familiar with. Assessment and measurement, so how is assessment done and what criteria are used to measure. What resources and materials are available to the students in terms of how they're able to access content in the course. Is there evidence of learner engagement? So are the activities and methods used designed to really get students involved, or is it just kind of bland and boring? What type of course technology is used? Is there a description of how to use the course technology? And is course technology appropriate, or is it too difficult to use? Is it a course technology that people have access to and that is reasonable in terms of technical expectations? Is there adequate learner support, so if a student has a question, then they know where to go to get help? And then lastly is the issue of accessibility, and by this I refer to Section 508C of the Americans with Disabilities Act, so that we know that there are certain learners, certain people that have disabilities. We need to be able to make sure that the course meets some of the essential components that are part of that Section 508C. So how is each category scored? Well, as I mentioned earlier, there are several sub-elements that define the specifics covering each of the respective areas. And if it's something is given a value of 3, some a value of 2, and some of 1. Value of 3 indicates that the item is an essential element in the course. So all courses should include these items. If something has a value of 2, it means it's a very good thing to have, and a value of 1 means nice to have, but it's less important. If you look overall at all the various categories, you look at the fact there are 14 essential elements across all of the various categories described in the previous slide, and if you if you know that an essential element has a value of 3, there are 14 essential elements, then you should have at least 42 points when evaluating an online course. So let's take a minute to look at the rubric. In this first slide, you'll see the first element of the Quality Matters rubric. On the left margin in the left column is the heading title, Course Overview and Introduction. In the center are the standards, and you'll see there are 6 standards. The first 2 have a point value of 3, so those are considered essential elements. Right below that are the learning objectives area, and you'll see also there are 5 elements there. The first 2 are considered to be level 3, are essentials, and as we work our way down, you can see assessment and measurement. And again, there are 5 elements here. The types of assessments selected measure the stated learning objectives and are consistent with course activities and resources. That's number 3. And the course grading policy is stated clearly, again a 3. And then the third element, specific and descriptive criteria, are provided for the evaluation of students' work and participation, also a level 3. Working down further, you can see resources and materials. And in this case, the instructional materials support the stated learning objectives. Element 3, the instructional materials have sufficient breadth, depth, and currency of the students to learn this subject. Moving along, learner engagement. Learning activities promote the achievement of stated learning objectives. Learning activities foster instructor-student content, student, and if appropriate in this course, student-to-student interaction. Again, level 3, and then the third level 3, clear standards are set for instructor response and availability, turnaround time for email, grade posting, etc. Now, many of these elements can be handled within your Start Here module, where you're actually describing your expectations and also describing some of your policies regarding things like instructor response. Course technology, the next section, the tools and media support the learning objectives and are appropriately chosen to deliver the content of the course. Only one level 3 for the course technology area. Learner support, no level 3 there, but nonetheless, a couple of things are important there, particularly the first one. And accessibility, the first one is the course acknowledges the importance of ADA requirements. So at least you have some ability to state, well, these are important issues, and here's where you could go. You could put a reference in to our DSPS office, where there are staff there available to work with students. The Blackboard 9 system is ADA accessible in terms of the requirements, how the elements work on the page, so various screen readers will actually be able to read out information appropriately.